Welcome to the Informed and Oblivious podcast, episode 39. I am Void Pill Phil, and this is Spaceballs the T-shirt Raymond.
I was like, am I wearing that shirt? Yes, I am wearing that shirt.
Yeah. You are wearing Spaceballs the T-shirt.
What is a void pill?
It's beyond black pilled. I'm just void pilled.
Okay.
Living in the void right now.
Gotcha.
Been living in the void for a while. It's a good thing we've been on like vacation a little bit because the last time we were going to record, I was going to really go super emo. I've since become apathetic, so I don't care anymore. But I'm just like over all of it.
Yeah, for anybody who actually does listen regularly, apologies for the hiatus, folks.
No, don't apologize.
No, I will apologize.
No, fuck you guys. I don't give a fuck. They've been seeing the snowboarding videos. They know what we're up to. They know what we're about. This is our busy time of year. Sue me.
I gotta upload the latest one as well.
Yeah, there's going to be lots more snowboarding content to come. So, fuck you guys.
You're so mean.
Nobody cares about the podcast portion. Clearly, they're all watching the snowboarding videos. I'll talk shit to anybody who's still listening to this part.
We got some people who watched one and then stopped, and that's okay.
What? There's a lot. There's like 45 views on the other snowboarding videos too.
All right, they got up there.
Yeah,
okay.
It's still better than our podcast views, which I guess makes sense. But yeah, so this is a snowboarding channel now. So fuck you guys on the podcast.
It seemed to be a gaming channel then because Phil just finally got a new graphics card.
Yeah, finally upgraded that part of my system. That was the first. I was telling our friends that I was doing the shopping with today. That's the first new graphics card that I bought since the R480 came out. That was the VR ready graphics card that Radeon put out, and that was in 2016.
Yeah, that's right. I mailed you my fucking old 1080 when I was down in Georgia.
Yeah, because that was when I
mailed it up here.
Because I updated the motherboard and the processor, but I didn't update the graphics card at that time.
Right.
And now I've updated the graphics card and the RAM, which means the next thing's going to, it's in cycles. Do it in cycles, in pieces. I will wait for a very long time now that you just gave me that sad news about the DDR5 RAM, though.
Yeah, not physically compatible on, so, oh well.
But you know what is physically compatible?
Liking and subscribing?
Yeah, hitting that like button, subscribing, hit that notification bell, share the show with everyone you know. And the snowboarders you know, too, because we're going to have more of that snowboarding. That sweet, powdery snowboarding content. And you could find us on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, and occasionally TikTok. We should make some snowboarding
shorts.
TikTok-y videos, yeah. Particularly the ones where I cut you off in powder and make you eat shit.
You haven't made me eat shit yet. Well,
I did the one time.
I did fall on my ass. Yeah.
Yeah. I did by accident.
You cut me off on powder. You cut me off on ice.
Well, I was scared. Okay, I got scared. It was cold out, and yeah, you fell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You braked real hard on ice, and then I had no choice but to either hit you, the guy next to me, or fall down, and I chose the last one.
It's so hard because, since you ride Goofy, I can never tell if you're behind me or to the side of me.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, if my braking's going to mess you up, you're not going to be, impacted at all. I also don't know if, depending on where you're at, if I go too far to one side, if I'm going to, run into your track.
Don't worry, I avoid you.
I know, but I try to be respectful of the fact that you're probably on the left side of the mountain.
I don't know. Sometimes I follow you on the right side.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Just awkward to me because I feel like it shouldn't be a thing.
No, it doesn't bother me at all to have my back to the cliff.
But yeah, since I upgraded my computer, I will hold off on upgrading my snowboarding stuff. I was gonna get the new boots and bindings, but when I was looking at the boots and whatnot, one, it's too hard to get boots right now. You got to do that early,
Oh yeah.
later in this year, early in the season, to get the supply of boots, because I couldn't even I want to get more of the boot that I have, because they make a stiffer version of it, but I couldn't find it anywhere because they don't sell it from their store. You have to get it through a supplier.
Gotcha.
And I was like, well, I'm just gonna hope it lasts. And if it doesn't, I'll just get rentals while I'm there, or I'll just buy new ones.
What size are your boots?
8.5, but technically okay. I want to size up to a 9. 8.5 was 8.5 was too tight. my foot was a little loose. Like when I went up to Blue that day, I got all the way up there and realized I left my boots at home.
Oh shit!
So I had to rent the boots. It sucked. I was like, I like got out of the car and I was thinking about it. I was like, yeah, I had this like feeling the whole time. I was like, no, I grabbed everything. And I'm getting out of the car. I was like, fuck, I didn't grab my boots, did I? And then I opened the trunk and I'm like, fuck, I didn't grab my boots. And then I had to go rent them. And then they're like, well, we can't rent you just boots. It's got to be like the boots and the board. And I was like, how much? And they're like, $55. I was like, oh. I was like, that's not bad.
Still.
No, I know, but like, I thought it was going to be like way worse, the combo. I thought it was going to be like $120. And like 55 for the day is not bad, considering that like the lift ticket was only like $60. So.
Yeah. Still, that sucks.
Yeah, but I drove all the way up there. I'm not turning around. I'm like, I'm going to do this. I have to bait it to be like, can I just get the ski rental instead and just like fucked around on skis for the day? That would have been funny. But yeah, the 9s, those boots, just because they were so soft, I liked the space I had in the 9s, but because they were so soft, like my feet were like lifting in the boot. So I want 9s, but if I get a stiff boot, I should be able to sit down pretty well in the boot.
Okay.
So
yeah, I was gonna say because I hardly ever wore the Solomons I got. I didn't like them; they were too small for me. But they're a 10, so they're gonna be too big.
Too big. Yeah. The first boots I got were like 10s because I was like fitting into like my shoe size, not like my. And like that's the thing. I got the 9s as the rentals, and it fit just fine. I was like, okay, 9 is definitely like my foot well size. Because the guy's like, he's like, do you need to do the foot fitting? I was like, no, just give me some 9. Yeah, I'll be fine.
Because I'm really like an 11 and 11 and a half. But when I got those Solomons, he goes, oh yeah, but you want to go down on them. And yeah, and those Solomons just they're too small. The 10 is too small for me. It crushes my fucking feet. The regular ones that I wear are 10 and a half. The 10 is just too small.
Well, that's the thing too. I want to go in more like the off season or like when they do a summer sale and try to get like fitted. But find like a better like Ski Barn's nice, but I feel like there's got to be a bigger like boot store around somewhere. Like maybe in the King of Prussia Mall they have something.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'll have to look. But the Micro Center was pretty nice, by the way. First time ever being in one of those things.
You've never been to a Micro Center before?
No.
It's like Costco for nerds, right?
Yeah, but I was like, dude, if I ever need some kind of like cable assembly thing, I'm coming here.
Yeah, Micro Center's fucking crazy.
Yeah, like 10 times better than Best Buy for that stuff. But like, I was surprised at the amount of people that were like in the store. Like when I got there, I was like, holy shit. And I thought they were like scalpers at first, but it's like, no, it's just a bunch of like nerds walking around and I'm laughing.
Looking at components and shit, yeah.
And the associate's like every 10 minutes, can I help you? Can I help you? Can I? Relax, I'll let you know when I need help. I know what I'm here for, but I'm perusing first. Like, let me browse. And like, it was so weird because like, I'm glad I like looked it up because I had to pull it up on a phone. I was like, yeah, I want this and I want that. He's like, okay, I'll go get it for you. Give me 3 minutes and then go to the front. It'll be waiting. I was like, okay. I was glad I got the RAM though because they said they had 3 left in stock.
Oh wow!
And I didn't like see it. I was like, shit. Because, like, again, I wanted the faster speed, cheaper DDR. I didn't want 64. I was just like, just give me another 32 gigs. That should future-proof me for a while.
So now you got 4 sticks in there?
Yep. At
2 8s and 2 16s?
Yep. At 3600.
There you go.
So that's pretty decent speed, 48 gigs of RAM. I don't think I'll come anywhere close to that. But I have, for, like, some of the newer games, come, like, close to, like, hitting the 16 gigs. So I'm like, I need to like...
It means I can offload some of the video editing to you.
If you wanted to look like shit. I don't know. Maybe my system will render it better. Who knows?
No, mine's still better. But before you wouldn't have been able to handle it. Trying to edit the 360 videos on 16 gigs of RAM. Your computer would have been like, fuck off.
Oh, no, I just meant like rendering the final product. Like, I wonder which one does better with that, AMD or Intel.
Oh, that's a good question. Because that probably does run through the CPU.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Probably AMD, honestly.
See, you can offload some of the stuff to me.
Maybe we should get a NAS.
Yeah, maybe. Everything else is networked. I did laugh. I don't know why. I noticed last night, and I don't think it should be that way, but I did notice last night. Is your like TV in your room like Wi-Fi controlled or something? Because like the control to control your like bedroom TV with high dive streaming on it was on my phone. And I was like,
That's
I wanted to fuck with you so bad and just hit pause.
I would have been so fucking confused. Well, that's weird that it does that.
Yeah.
because I'm streaming it from my phone to the Google Home touchscreen is what I have it playing on in there.
I guess it's because we're on the same Wi-Fi network.
Yeah, that's so weird. I didn't think.
Because it popped, I saw like the TV like icon pop up. And I was like, TV? What the fuck? And it was just like, your bedroom TV, high dive. And I was like, that's not me, but okay.
That's weird because you're not on my Google Home network, so that's very strange that it gave you that. That's kind of weirds me out.
Yeah.
Like just because you're on the same Wi-Fi.
I guess. Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah, you wanna? We can test this real quick. You wanna go play something real quick? I'll show you.
That's so funny.
Cause I was so confused. What is this? 4+ star find. What are you recommending to me, Amazon? Ride, explore, repeat. The Your Peck snowboard bag with wheels.
Let's test this out.
All-terrain snowboard bag. Hilarious.
So if I'm playing that from my phone to my Google Home monitor in my bedroom.
Look. That's so weird. Why does it do that?
Why does it do that? I'm playing it on my phone to my thing in there on a Google network you're not attached to. Why is it showing it on
And
your
it's not
phone?
like
That's
you
so
ever
weird.
had me connect to like the
No,
TV in there
yeah.
either.
That's bizarre.
Like I know we did something for the TV in the living room the one night with like streaming like the fight or whatever, but like I never did anything for over there.
Yeah, but that was to
I think that was just logging into like my account or something.
yeah, on my Fire Stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is separate from the Google network. That's so weird.
Right, dude? Oh, I love all the reviews on all these like snowboard bags. They're like, it'll do the trick, but like bring duct tape just in case, because like everybody like rips their bag like so fast. I don't know. I'm still debating on if I should get a snowboard bag for our trip.
So what? Duct tape for what now?
For the like, everybody talks about like the snowboard bag ripping. I'm thinking about getting like just an over the shoulder one.
Okay.
Because Element makes a pretty decent snowboard bag, but it doesn't have wheels. But it is like, it's
yeah, the first one I got, yeah, it was like awkward. I got one that was more like yours with the wheels on it because it's more convenient to drag it around.
Ooh. Ooh.
Stop shopping during our podcast.
I'll shop till I drop. The bag that like I was looking at before that was like on sale is now on sale again, and now it's on sale for $69.
Dang. Let me see it. What do you got?
It's well, I'm getting it in the blue one because that's the cheapest one, but I don't know. It's just the Element snowboard bag.
Yeah, just a normal board bag, but no wheels. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a much smaller bag than what I got. So I would get the 165 version just because then I can fit more gear into it. But they make a 157, which would be the exact length of my snowboard, but I don't like that because like I like to
be able to stuff some stuff in it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't trust them throwing it on the plane. Screw it.
Same thing. The first one I got was way too long. This one is the one I've got now has that rollable top on it. So like if you need a little extra length on it, you can unroll that top and unbuckle it and Stuff some more shit in there.
Yeah, dude. Screw them.
Keep in mind, you're going to have to carry that around. You can't drag it then.
No, I don't mind. I throw it over. It's got a shoulder strap.
Yeah, but
Like
that shit's
that.
heavy, dog. That shit's us walking through an airport.
Huh? I don't care.
All right. And you're going to have a backpack on too, ain't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I make it easier. I just like slot the shoulder strap, like, and I'll just put it on my butt like a like a freaking what's the stupid thing? Golf bag, like a golf bag.
All right.
Dang it! I want to add the snowboarding mask, but I'll do that later, I guess.
Now that we're 20 minutes in, what do you actually want to talk about today?
Well, that's what I wanted to talk about. That I don't want to talk about like all the fucked up shit in the world anymore. What is this?
What is what?
3 pieces.
3-piece suit?
Yeah, that's right, dude.
Got a 9mm in a 3-piece suit?
Look at
They turned a balaclava into a wave cap?
Why would I do that? The versatile like snow like mask design. Like yeah, you're right. It is versatile.
Yeah, you can do that, but should you?
I don't think I ever would.
Maybe you just want to keep your neck warm.
All right, whatever.
And the top of your head.
I added the bag. I'll like I'll
Peruse it later.
yeah, because I do need to get a face mask, but I might just pick the face mask up from Ski Barn when I get my board.
Okay.
But I would have added that bag to the cart because I haven't seen it that cheap. But yeah, no. I'll just like over everything, and we're not even that deep into an election year yet.
Yep.
And I really don't want to deal with the nonsense coming up. But like between like them pulling out ice from Minnesota, all the fraud that's going on, and then now all the Epstein file release, I'm just like, I'm numb to it all. I'm like, what's the point? And I just want to go back to talking about things not like this way.
Fucking NoFX released a song called Minnesota Nazis. Their first release in a long time. It was apparently a song he had written years ago. But then he changed the name and some of the lyrics to be more fitting for the current, but most of the song had been written and just not recorded previously. But like, what the fuck?
Like, again, anybody like comparing this stuff to the Nazis, I think needs to do themselves a favor and read a fucking history book. Because you know what the Nazis didn't let you do? Didn't let you protest what they were doing at all. If you did, there would be a knock on your fucking door and no one would see you again. I don't think that they realized, too, the Nazis weren't, like, duly elected. They went in and killed their opponents, and that's how they got to power. Like, Crystal Knock, the Night of the Long Knives, like, all that shit. Like, they went in and basically, like, couped the government. The thing that they think January 6th was.
Yeah. This is entirely different. They are trying to do what they're legally obligated to do. You may not like the way they're doing it. You may not like that they have to do it or that they're supposed to do it. But they are supposed to do it.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
And I'm in favor of you protesting the way that it's done. And that you want it done a different way. But the way to do that is to protest at the government buildings where these policies are made to begin with, 1. And 2, you lose the plot the moment you tell me that they're Nazis and that it's the SS. Because you guys clearly never read any kind of fucking history book ever. And I'll just like, dude, if you think that you could have followed brown shirts the way these guys are following fucking ICE and got away with it, like, you're insane. Not only would you be in jail, you'd be in jail with broken bones.
Yeah, it wouldn't just be a handful of people hurt. It would be everybody following them.
Yeah, and not only that, once they locked you in jail, they tracked down your family and put them in jail as well. People don't understand the difference, and that's the thing that kills me is because the things that are getting lost in the sauce with all this stuff is that like people that really do feel this way are now covered by the fact that you're calling these people Nazis. So now when somebody actually does do something like that, you're never going to find out because it's just going to get blurred into all this shit. You can't, everybody's a racist, everybody's a Nazi, you can't actually have racists and Nazis. And then it's going to be a problem because they're going to fly under the radar until one of them actually does get in power. And then you're going to be like, oh, fuck.
I had not considered that.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing that I really do. I hate with all the Epstein stuff right now, too, because it's the same kind of thing. All those files are out there now. Everybody's seen all this disgusting stuff. The worst part of all of it is it seems like no one's going to be convicted for anything.
Yeah, nothing's happening.
Which is terrible. But again, to that end, there as many people that are disgusted by that shit and sickened by it and demoralized by the fact that nobody's going to jail over this shit, like you, me, like all these other people that feel that way about it, there is an other equal-sized cohort which nobody seems to be talking about, and I'm very worried about. Is there's also a lot of people that read this shit like fan fiction and not only are excited by what he did, but are probably sad that they missed the boat on it. And I guarantee you, give it about 20 years time and we will see something else like this again, but 10 times worse and 10 times more disgusting. Because there are people right now that are seeing that shit and going, I missed the boat on all the fun. Let's make it happen again. And now they know how to not make it happen. And when people are like, no, they wouldn't do that. Serial killer copycats are a thing.
Oh, yeah.
School shooter copycats are a thing. All these horrible things. As many people are disgusted by them, there's an equal amount of people. Well, not an equal amount.
I certainly hope not.
A large enough amount of people that are inspired by it and take it to the next level. And especially when they see that nobody goes to jail for anything for this.
Right, yeah. As long as I'm not the ringleader, I'll be fine.
Well, the same way that after the financial crisis in 2008 and the whole quantitative easing and too big to fail, there was a whole bunch of people in the financial institute that learned, ooh, we don't have to play by the rules anymore. And they haven't for a very long time. Yep. So, like, when people are like, no, that wouldn't happen, I'm like, okay. Well, I don't know what fairy tale you're living in, but please give me the drugs that you're on so I can also live in it.
Yeah, no, that's very likely. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. And people are like, no. People aren't like, I'm like, have you read some of the disgusting shit that people put on the internet? I guarantee you there's some disgusting forum somewhere that's like highlighting like, ooh, where did he go wrong and how could we do it better?
Yeah. Or even if it's not, like a forum where people are actually discussing it, there's at least, one or two motherfuckers somewhere who are taking notes.
And not only that, they're learning that victims don't talk about it. Because that's the thing, too. Like, with a lot of these things, like, they're like, some of the victims' names were redacted, and now their family knows that they were involved in this, and they didn't want them to know. And I'm like, why didn't they report it? Why wasn't this ever reported? And they're like, blah, blah, blah. Because some of them were victims turned, like, groomers as well.
It happens a lot, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the other like underlying thing to this, because again, people learn that like now these are the ways to get away with it or not get away with it. Like, and if you think that people aren't thinking that, again, I love the people's naive optimism, but I'm not so naive and I'm not so optimistic.
Yeah, no, 100% it'll happen again one day. Yeah,
and if not, it's probably happening right now because. There's another thing that somebody brought up, and the whole Discord thing right now, where we might have to do the facial ID verification. Which £, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, hello TeamSpeak or. Well,
it's either going to be like Discord is usable with the limited functionality, or it's not, and I'm going somewhere else.
So like I forget who I was talking about. They're like, oh yeah, what are we doing about that? And I'm like, well, let's see what happens. Yeah. If we can still use it the regular way and just like not the extra features or whatever, I don't give a shit. But
yeah, because I checked, like even like the server that I made is not age restricted.
Yeah.
So it technically should be okay, but I don't know if then itself
if it's gonna change. Yeah.
Like, are they gonna add chat filters now? So if I tell you to go fuck yourself, like it's gonna be like blurred out and like, oh, you want to say fuck? Now you need Face ID? Fuck you! I'm going somewhere else. What?
I got a Windows security alert.
Oh. Windows heard me saying fuck you. But no, like, so like somebody brought up the point with all this going on, right? So we know a lot of these social media sites, like it's all under the guise to protect children, quote unquote, because there's a lot of predatory people on these social media sites and they groom kids, whatever, they interact with them. It's a horrible thing. They know what's going on. They're quote unquote trying to fix it. But somebody pointed out, and while all this is going on, the other big thing that nobody's talking about is Discord has started a teen safety council in which the members of the teen safety council will be children from the age 13 to 17, now interacting with adults at Discord to determine safety policies for teens. Why the fuck are kids doing that?
Yeah.
And they're like, in the wake of all this stuff where like we learn that powerful people having access to children is a bad thing and usually ends up to their detriment, why is nobody talking about the fact that Discord is out there, one, now confirming who is and isn't children, and two, creating a council of these children to interface with adults to determine these things?
I understand wanting to get your target demographics input on certain stuff, but this is not one of those things.
And
the safety protocols for your children should not be handled by your children.
Yeah, well, but like if you did it for anything else, they'd be like, yeah, no, that's grooming. Like if we want to have like this safety, so like a council on sexualizing teens, and we're gonna have them be the ones to do it. But like, what? No, we're not gonna have that safety council run by them. It's gonna be run by adults to determine this isn't okay.
Mm-hmm.
And with this stuff too, like I would be okay with these things if it was kind of like how there's like a kids YouTube and adult YouTube. I'm okay with age verification stuff if one, it's tied to your driver's license, which like you can enter that ID, but they don't want to do that shit because if you enter your ID, then they have to be tied into government databases and they have to pay for that fucking feature.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they're doing this third party scan because it's way fucking cheaper for them and then having you put in your government issued ID, which would be the smart way of doing it because everything else that requires age verification for me uses my government issued fucking ID.
Side tangent. I was thinking about this the other day. Why are driver's licenses not national?
What do you mean?
Why are they not national? Why do you have to get why is there a Jersey DMV and a Georgia DMV and why is it not national? Why is it not just the DMV?
Because the way that you issue the licenses varies from state to state.
Why?
Because the regulations on that isn't set. The only thing that is set is that you have freedom of movement. That's the federal thing. Yeah. You have to have freedom of movement between states. And technically, people have argued the fact that you don't need a license to do that and have won that case successfully. Because constitutionally, you shouldn't be able to be limited on that.
Yeah, and you're not. You can take the bus. You can walk.
No. They can't limit your ability to drive a car. No, the freedom of movement applied to horses back in the day, and a horse is no different than a motorized vehicle. That was the mode of transportation back in the day when they said you can't restrict movement, and now the mode of transportation today is a car. They can't restrict your movement based off of a license bullshit. They've argued it. People have won it multiple times.
Interesting.
It just takes a lot of time and money, so most people don't fight that. But there's very vindictive people in the world, and trust me,
I thought they could tell you whether or not you can operate a motor vehicle on state roads.
No. Trust me, no, that's the whole freedom of movement. States can't restrict your movement, nor can they restrict your movement between states. That's constitutionally protected. That's why when they tried to do the COVID thing for like out of state people, they were like, no, you can't fucking do that. You can't set up barricades not letting people from other states into your state. You can either stop and check everybody, or you can check no one. That's how that works. But no, like, trust me, if I had the money to do it, because I'm vindictive enough, I'd be challenging shit like that all the time. Because the reason why certain things happen the way that they do is because nobody takes the time to challenge them. And when it does, then they go, well, no, they're right. And in this case, we'll allow them to get away with it.
I always thought those videos were absolute horseshit. People getting pulled over by cops. Oh, I'm not driving, I'm traveling. I'm like, no, you're fucking driving a car.
No, it's like, that's how the concealed carry in like New York and New Jersey went from may issue to shall issue because that got challenged. It was the same thing. They were like, well, it's bullshit. You can't be like, oh, well, we may give it to you and then not issue concealed carry permits to anyone. And they took it up to the Supreme Court and they're like, no, that's illegal. You can't do that. You have to issue them permits. So it just takes people challenging like what like the restriction is. Now, registering your vehicle, they can certainly require you to register your vehicle and impose fines and stuff like that, but they can't tell you can't drive.
Interesting.
Again, most people do it.
Because people get arrested for driving without a license, no?
Yeah, unless you challenged it.
Okay.
And even then, you don't get arrested. You just get ticketed at the time. You could look it up, but
impound your vehicle.
Well, no, you could look it up. I don't even think New Jersey like arrests you for driving without a license. Like, what is the penalty for driving without a valid license in New Jersey?
Yeah, they'll take your car, won't they?
Not in all cases.
Mouth. There we go.
Like, people drive without insurance, and they don't impound the vehicle because you don't have insurance. You're not typing.
Thank you.
Look it up, not Jamie. Jamie Raskin.
Driving without a valid license in New Jersey is a serious traffic violation that can result in up to $500 in fines, 60 days in jail, and a license suspension of at least 180 days. Convictions may also trigger a $100 annual surcharge for 3 years. Penalties vary depending on who never had a license, it expired, or was suspended.
Hilarious to me that they'll suspend your non-existent license for 180 days.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, probably the first time you're just going to get a fine.
Never had a license. Minimum $200 fine and potential jail time. Expired suspended license. Different penalties, particularly for operating a vehicle during a suspension period. Juveniles and unlicensed juvenile may be prevented from obtaining a driver's license for 6 months. Conditional restricted license violating restrictions can lead to a $100 fine and up to 30 days in jail.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, there's a lot of things that, like, you would think would be, like, serious offenses that end up just being penalties.
I mean, they're still jailing you.
But also, you have to be pulled over. But here's the thing, too. Like, I think you can't even get issued license plates in New Jersey unless you have a license.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, so, like, you'd be driving around without plates first. So, like, there's a whole tier to this that you got to fight all the way through. Like, this is how they tie things to one another. Like, oh, we're not restricting your movement, but you need a license plate so we can identify the vehicle. Oh, well, to do that, you needed to get registered. Oh, to register it, you need a license.
Although, funny enough, when I had moved down to Georgia,
With the devil?
I had failed to get my Georgia license for a while, or update any of my shit, so I still had the Jersey plates on the car for, like, almost 2 years. And,
you got in big time trouble for that one, didn't you?
Well, it was just a fine. And it wouldn't even be, I think it was like $100, $200 or something. It wasn't crazy. That was like, it really wasn't a big deal. And they said, hey, go get this shit done now or it's going to be more of a problem. I'm like, okay, so I went and got it done. And I ended up, even with the fine, saving a few $100 because my car, when I first moved down, Georgia has what they call the ad valorem tax. Whereas if you bring a car into Georgia and register it there, you have to pay the taxes on it again. I had already fully paid off the taxes on my fucking car.
Yeah.
And so when I moved down, the taxes, the ad valorem tax, when I initially moved down, was going to be $2,500 to pay on the fucking car. And by the time I got that ticket, it was down to, I think, like $1,500. So even with the ticket, I saved money.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's how some of this stuff like pans out because people don't challenge this stuff. But it's just like with all the Epstein shit and all these other things, that, like, I wish I had the money and time to challenge all of this stuff to the government and just bring suit after suit after suit because it's the only way that this stuff gets done. You have to challenge them. Like my old man knows somebody that he became a lawyer for small contractors after he got screwed over as a small contractor and said, fuck this, went back to school, got the degree, and exclusively defends small contractors now. And just like sometimes he'll even do it like fucking pro bono, doesn't give a fuck, just to fuck over the government for fucking him over.
Yeah, I was just I was thinking like why are licenses not national? Why is it state by state? It's fucking weird.
Because there's no federal clause. This is the thing. It's all what is that, the 10th Amendment?
Yeah, because I was like when I got my Georgia license, and like I didn't have to retake the test.
Is it
They just give it to you. So I'm like, why does it need to be done at all if they're just going to give it to you?
is it the 10th Amendment? It's whatever is not detailed to the federal government is left up to the states.
Okay.
And then like, we had the whole like civil war over that, like again, like slavery, but slavery was a states' rights issue because slavery didn't fall in the purview of the federal government. So they argued that like you don't have the power to restrict this, and they're like, actually we do. So like anything not laid out in the Constitution federally is supposed to be under the purview of the states. And that's why like there was a big stink recently of like the EPA is like rolling back these restrictive greenhouse gas policies, and people are like, "Oh, harumph, we're gonna like be like in trouble now." Except most states already have their own regulations on greenhouse gases and climate control and climate change anyway, that are already more restrictive than the federal government. So like, who gives a shit?
Okay.
Like, and some of the stuff with that, I was laughing because there was another one that like happened recently where like everybody's like, "Oh my god, it's gonna be the end of the world." No, the fuck it isn't, people. Like, read a book, because this is one that I'm intimately familiar with from going and doing the HVAC shit. Right, where I, at a young age, because I was in high school taking those classes at that time, realized that the government is full of shit. Because we had the whole restriction on CFCs and HFCs because they were eating holes in the ozone layer, right? Completely big problem. We got a hole in the ozone.
What is the first C in CFC?
Huh?
What is the first C in?
Carbofluorocarbons.
They are both like carbo. I know there's fluorocarbons, and I'm like, what's the first?
And then HFC, hydrofluorocarbons.
Okay.
It's and then I think the one after that was the HCFCs, whatever. It's been a while.
Okay.
But like basically, like eventually we figured out a stable molecule that if it leaks into the atmosphere isn't going to cause harm to it because of the way that it bonds. So there was a legitimate thing there that the ozone hole was created because we were leaking this destructive gas into the atmosphere. So regulation came out. You had to get all this stuff done. So now you have to recover the gas from systems. You can't let it bleed off. There has to be reasons for it, blah, blah, blah.
The ozone's basically healed itself at this point, right?
Yes. Yeah. But when this came out, they said that it would take hundreds of years for it to even reverse the damage a fraction. And then 10 years later, after they stopped the usage of this shit, the EPA came out, the hole of the ozone has repaired itself. And I was like, the fuck? What are you talking about? That's not what you said. That's not what the data said. The data said the destruction that we did and the way that it repairs itself, that it would take centuries or decades
you said it was going to turn the planet into a desert for the next couple hundred years.
Yeah. And this is where I learned that a lot of climate change and planetary stuff is bullshit, and we have absolutely no idea because we had never caused this problem before, so we had no idea how long the problem would take to remedy itself. Yeah. And it turns out, once you stop pumping those gases into the atmosphere, it repairs itself fairly quickly. Which, okay, great. We don't pump those gases anymore. But then it goes
I can use all the hairspray I want.
Well, no. It's changed. It's changed to a stable chemical now, so it's not a problem. But then it becomes more and more restrictive because government stepped in. So government made big money after putting these things into place in the beginning. And the industry made big money because now you had to buy all these recovery tanks. You had to buy all these vacuum pumps that you didn't have to buy before. And then you get
Arizona with their ACs not working.
Well, that's later in the process. So then they're like, okay, we need more and more environmentally friendly refrigerants, to the point where until Trump's EPA came in, they were going to force everybody in the industry to go to flammable refrigerant. Yeah, let that sink in, folks. Flammable fucking refrigerant. You know what's real fun? Having a nice flammable bomb in your yard next to your house because now your fucking air conditioner has 5 pounds of flammable fucking refrigerant in it. Your refrigerators already have it. Most refrigerators already have that flammable refrigerant. But you know what you need in order to get that flammable refrigerant and work on it? You need an extra level certification. You need brand new gauges. You need brand new vacuum pumps. You need brand new recovery tanks because they all have to work with this flammable material now. And it's all big fucking money. And then the EPA reversed it all and they're like, well, what do? We were about to switch everything over to this. And you know who's making buku bucks on that right now? China. Because China said, fuck you, we're not doing that shit. And so now all the other industries had switched over to go towards this flammable shit, and they can't, like, reverse it back. And China's just pumping out, like, what was the old refrigerant and the old stuff, and they're like, here, buy it from us. And they're like, fuck, I guess we're going to have to buy it from you. Because that's the joke of it all, folks. There's no global council, despite what you think, on greenhouse gases and all this shit. So we might care about emissions, but other countries that are still developing are like, yeah, fuck you. You got the leg up. We're going to do whatever the fuck we want till we get to your point.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it doesn't matter how much we restrict ours because China's dumping out 10 times the amount of greenhouse gases compared to us. And not only that, like, I've seen the breakdown on some of those things. The level of greenhouse gas that we are now isn't even at the same level that it was in the atmosphere from what they can tell from records and geological records, isn't even at the same level that it was before the previous ice age that we're still currently in. We are still currently in an ice age. I don't know if people realize this or not. Because the ice age is considered like when we have these global periods of glaciers and fucking ice caps that aren't usually there. That's why, there's land underneath the ice in Antarctica. Because ice wasn't there before. So, like, when people are like, global warming's so bad, we're not even warm yet. We're still in a fucking cold period. Like, this is like, people are like, that's bullshit. It's like, no. Ice age happened. Global migration went towards the fucking equator. Then the planet warms the fuck back up. And depending on how it warms the fuck back up, you move away from the equator to all that land that's underneath that fucking ice right now. It blows my mind. But when you pay attention to, like, little stuff like that, you just realize that, like, it's all bullshit for money. So with the whole restrictive greenhouse gases that, like, we don't give a fuck about the emissions right now. Can you guess what one of them was?
What?
Carbon fucking dioxide. Not monoxide, dioxide. They were restricting the emissions of carbon dioxide, the shit we breathe out and plants breathe to live. Yeah, they're like, that's a greenhouse gas. It is dangerous. What the fuck are you talking about? And they also released the restriction on methane gas, which is the thing that cows shit out. Because they were like, we have too many cows farting into the atmosphere. It causes problem. No, it doesn't. Shut the fuck up. There's not enough methane from all the cows in the world to do anything to the fucking atmosphere. Like, again, and I might not be an atmospheric scientist, but again, I can read and follow the bullshit. And we don't fucking know, people. You may think we fucking know. You may think a lot of smart people out there have some kind of clue. It's all a fucking best guess because we only started recording weather for the past 150 fucking years. Because you know what we were doing before that? Worrying about dying. We didn't give a fuck about how hot it was outside because, one, hadn't invented the scale yet, but two, we were like, there's bigger fish to fry right now. And now that we started recording temperature, we go, hey, that's kind of weird. The temperature's going up. But then it goes down a little bit. But then it goes up again. But there's a global uptrend. So, like, clearly we're in a global warming period. Okay, based off of what? What are we looking at? 150-year snapshot, which if you're on my end of the spectrum where your creation is, that's 150 years, which is a larger percentage out of 6,000 to 10,000 years. Or if you're on the scientific scale of that and you think the Earth is 5 billion years old, you've looked at a 150-year snapshot of 5 billion years and determined, yeah, I know what the fuck is going on. It's fucking stupid.
You're talking about the Atmosphere before. Have you ever listened to Atmosphere?
No.
He's a rapper. He's a rapper. He's good.
All right, I don't care.
Right.
But yeah, it always drives me insane when people like look at that and think like we have any fucking clue. It's all a fucking guess based off a good guess based off of the data that like we've taken. And listen, humans affect the climate for sure. The ozone hole was a great example of that. But how long the planet takes to recover from that damage,
we have no idea.
With no clue, because we don't know until we've done the problem, and then we reverse the problem, and then who the fuck knows? Because here's another thing that like, fuck if we know the impact of that, and it's probably a way bigger impact than any of this other climate change shit, and nobody wants to talk about that one because we still get fish and blah blah blah. I don't think people understand how many fucking whales there were in the ocean before we started killing them for oil.
Yep.
And we don't give a single flying fuck about the impact that had. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, it probably had a massive impact to the entire fucking planetary ocean ecosystem. And on a planet where the majority of it is water, we should probably be a lot more fucking concerned about what that did than any of this other global warming bullshit.
Yeah, that and the state-sized islands of trash in the oceans.
Well, that one's our fault because we outsourced our recycling to China and they just dumped it in the ocean. That's a new landmass that we're creating. But yeah, like fucking, dude, when I went down the rabbit hole of that one day and realized how many fucking whales there were in the ocean before we started whaling, I couldn't believe it. Mm-hmm. Like you're talking, there was schools of whales that were pods of whales that were hundreds of whales in these pods, and they were fucking all over in the ocean. It's like you got in the deep ocean like a little bit, and it was just flooded with whales.
We have so many songs about whaling. Pique la baleine, jolie baleine.
But like I don't think fucking people comprehend like how populated the ocean was with whales. and again, we don't give a fuck about that. So like I just
whose idea was it the first time to go after a whale anyway? Hey, this thing is like 100 times my size. Let's fucking kill it.
No, it was coastal communities that didn't have access to mammals like that they could hunt for food. So like Arctic communities that like the animals that they had access to were smaller animals, and then they're fucking like, hey, we could catch this whale. And probably what happened is one died and beached itself, and they realized,
this is real good food and blubber.
There's
and
a lot of shit in here.
Yeah. All right.
The whaling oil for like lamps became like a thing like later, and then we're like, oh, this is like way better than like lighting like all these other oils that we have used in the past for fucking lights. But again, that kind of stuff, like human ingenuity drives this shit, and I'm rambling a bit, but like I'm so sick of seeing all these government agencies come out now and go like, oh yeah, we were wrong. Like the EPA one is very funny because they did studies on it. This wasn't just a Trump thing. Like the EPA did studies and they were like, yeah, we kind of fucked up here. Like this, like we don't need to restrict this. And they reversed their thing because they're like, after doing, because there's a whole host of fucking gases on that list that they're still restricting, like carbon monoxide, like the ozone emission from cars. They're like, yeah, all that still bad. We're going to make sure that doesn't happen. But things like fucking carbon dioxide, methane from cows, a bunch of other gases, they're like, we'll give a fuck about that anymore. We're stupid. We overestimated the impact to the environment. We don't need to worry about this. They did more science, as science is supposed to do, and they reversed it. And every fucking comment is like, it's so sad to see science become politicized. No, you're politicizing the science. They turned around
science
and said,
by default is not politicized.
Yeah, they turned around and said, hey, we did more research. We've been doing these studies for years, and said, hey, we were wrong. My bad. Roll it back.
Yeah, that's what makes science science. There's no part of the scientific process that says, hey, how do you feel about this? What's your opinion on it?
But not only that, that is the epitome of what science should be anyway. Science is supposed to be, if you do more research and studies and find out your conclusion was wrong, you're supposed to change it. And they did. And everybody's like, this is bullshit. We're still going to do it anyway. Fuck them. And I'm like, no, you're politicizing science. The same thing recently with the vaccine schedule changing too. they're like, oh my God. Now the fucking the organization of pediatric children's pediatric doctors and all that shit, this other thing is like, despite the CDC's recommendation, we're still going to recommend all these vaccines for children. You know what the CDC did? They said, we're only going to recommend the same fucking vaccines that Europe does. And they're always like, Europe is so progressive. They're so ahead of the curve. Europe recommends less vaccines for children than we do. And we're like, yeah, okay, that sounds great. Why are we giving so many fucking vaccines to kids? Don't worry about it. Unless you're in these specific high-risk categories, which they said. They said, listen, these ones, we don't need them anymore unless you're in these categories. So it's not even like they said, don't give them the fucking vaccines. They said, listen, we don't recommend these unless you have these risk factors. And I was like, great, that sounds awesome. Everybody's like, nah. And I'm like, you guys are fucking like, it blows my mind. I'm like, listen, you can have opinions on things all you want. You can, they're not even saying we're going to stop you from giving your kids those vaccines. We're just not recommending it anymore. You can fucking give your kids all the fucking vaccines you want. That's up to you and your doctor. It doesn't fucking matter. They're just saying, listen, this is all you need. If you want to get more, great. You don't have to get more. This is the bare minimum. That should change. That's got to change all the time. And they're not even telling
you have to get the bare minimum, mostly.
Yeah, like what the fuck, man?
There's a couple where they won't let you into schools without them, but for the most part, even the recommendation ones, they're like, all right, we think it's a bad idea for you not to do it, but you're entitled.
But like, I don't understand how like people's like opinions like don't change on science stuff, or how they like latch to these things like so. And I'm just like, God damn, the political shill's like everywhere. And this is where I'm like void pilled right now, because I'm just over all of it. I'm so over with like people like, oh, it's my team or this team, and I can't have fucking any kind of critical thought anymore, that I'm just like, God damn it. Like, is this the future we're headed towards? We're just headed towards an escalated collapse where the fucking morons like Idiocracy run the goddamn world.
Yeah, it's going to be an episode of Black Mirror.
Dude, and I'm just like, I'm like looking at it. I'm like, okay, the science on this stuff changed. Great. I'll invest in it. And even right now, like with the COVID vaccine stuff, the reason why I was skeptical about the mRNA technology is because before COVID rushed those vaccines through, not one had made it to human clinical trials. Not a single fucking one had ever been tested on humans before COVID. Now we've mass scale tested it on humans. We're making new and evolving technologies on that stuff even as we go. And right now I'm still weary about it because it is a new emergent technology. In about 10 to 15 years time, when we have the long-term data on it, if the long-term data says, okay, it's great, it's not that harmful, and it actually works better than our traditional vaccines, I will change my opinion on it because the data will have changed. But until then, I'm going to remain skeptical. Not to say that there isn't a situation where I would lean towards doing that. You know, I have personal medical stuff that I want to evolve for like reasons why I'm at high risk for something like that. But you know, as that changes, my opinion on it will change. And if it becomes like the mesothelioma commercials, if you or a loved one have taken an mRNA vaccine, contact this number. Well, then I'm going to go, I guess I was right to be skeptical. Like that's how a scientific approach should be. It shouldn't just be like, well, I feel that the climate is warming, so I'm going to stick to these strict religious ideologies about how it works. And if you do, that's fine. Just admit it. Admit it like I do as a young Earth creationist, which I always think is funny. I love telling people that because they're just like, what? I'm like, yeah, I believe the Earth's like 10,000 years old. And they're like, bullshit. And I'm like, prove it. But at least I admit it, it's a belief. There's nothing rooted in science for that for me. There's no scientific understanding or any basis behind that. It's just based purely off my beliefs. And I know that, and I accept it because it's a belief that I hold. I know there's no rationality behind it, but also you can't prove it either way, so fuck you.
Yeah, you don't want to be a dumb science bitch.
yeah. But and there's people that like I laugh because there's even like Christians that like yada 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 their way around that one too. They're like, well, no, like each of the 7 days was like 1,000,000,000 years. I'm like, fuck off, just own it. I'm like, own it. Either you believe the great sky genie made everything and a snap of his fingers, or you believe science and that it just miraculously appeared out of nowhere and took a long time to make it how it is now. It's fine. Either one's ludicrous. Just pick one. You know what I mean? I love the comedian talking about that. It's like, you mean your something came out of nothing? Well, that's a pretty fucking magical nothing. We can't comprehend it. We're not a high enough level of intelligence or awareness to understand that. And when people are like, no, we could totally tell where the universe began. Okay, I want you to imagine your existence before you were born. Can you do that? No, it's kind of the same thing.
Mm.
One day you sprung into consciousness. Imagine before that point. You can't. Same thing with the fucking universe. One day it was there. How it got there, we may never know.
Yeah, that's why I'm agnostic.
Yeah, our current generation of being definitely fucking won't. But like maybe somewhere way far in the future they know. I like the Futurama approach to that one with Farnsworth, the fucking I don't want to live on this planet anymore meme. And they went to another planet and basically became that planet's god because he created life on that planet. They're like, no, you definitely made it. It's like, no, I didn't. I just came from another planet with technology and I made it. No, that's not true at all. He became his own like deity of his fucking religion on that planet. And he's like, okay, all right. I kind of see like where this could get muddied a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so like again, if you are stuck to the religion of climate change, it's fine. Just admit that you are, because that science is ever evolving. And the fact that like you're like, no, we're locked in for good. I'm like, are we?
You know, there's an ebb and flow to the climate.
Listen, just remember, like 150 years ago, we thought bloodletting was an acceptable way to treat infection. Like, let's be real here, people. Shit changes, and exponentially faster than we realize. We're dumb fucks. Like, it used to take a couple of centuries for you to realize you were a dumb fuck. Now it takes about 5 years for you to realize you're a dumb fuck, and it's getting faster all the time.
Plus, if it, you know, for the climate change folks, you know, who desperately care about the Earth, if it makes you feel better, the you know, our shit and regulations or whatever and how we affect the climate only really affects us. Because eventually, if we fuck it up bad enough, it will kill us. The planet will heal.
Yeah. Well, that's
just without us on it anymore.
That's another thing that like I've always thought is stupid. Like, dude, like the climate change branding is so bad because they're like, we need to save the environment. No, you need to market it. We need to save future generations.
Human race, yeah.
Yeah, something we care about.
The planet will survive. You care about climate change as it pertains to humans.
Yeah, exactly. The planet don't give a fuck. The planet, if we turn it into a dead rock, it's still going to orbit the sun. It's not going to give a fuck. Like, Earth is still going to be here. It's going to be a lot less habitable. That's all that's going to fucking change with that shit. Like, I don't know. It's just, like, the shit that people, like, fight and, like, and go nuts over. Oh, that's another thing that, like, you know, we'll talk about that. That'll just, like, wrap this up or, before next week's episode. But the other thing that kind of like seems to be crazy now, because the Epstein files linked Epstein to the creator of 4chan, like the guy that was so now from the Epstein files and his involvement with the 4chan guy back in Occupy Wall Street, we might now have Epstein to thank for the woke mind epidemic. Because back when Occupy Wall Street happened, what happened at that time, because I've been involved in this shit for a very long time, the injection of the phenomena of social justice disrupted the Occupy Wall Street protest, which at its core was a class issue, the 99 versus the 1%. And then suddenly it became, oh, well, what level of privilege do you have in this protest about the 1%? And now we know from the documents that Epstein worked with the guy at 4chan to bring race and all this other shit into that protest to disrupt it.
Oh.
So we may have Epstein to thank for the fact that instead of fighting about class, we're fighting about race and sexuality and all this other bullshit that doesn't fucking matter, because the real issue has been from the past and now the haves versus the have-nots. That is always what the struggle through all of human history has been. Everything else is just noise. And they interjected so much noise that they completely disrupted society. Which also, by the way,
did a good job of it.
Yeah, well, also, by the way, there's very disturbing shit in there that there might have been Epstein and his cohorts pushing the whole trans thing too, because they were talking about very disgusting PDF file behavior of blocking puberty in young boys and young girls to create the opposite attraction effects for the genitals of your attractive choice. In other words, creating more feminized males and more masculine females for your own weird sexual proclivities. And he's like pushed scientists towards pushing kids towards this. Yeah, so isn't that fun? Can you see why I'm just like, I want to be done with all this and just like talk about normal stuff?
A lot of influence from one dude that I had never heard of before all this shit broke out.
Because it turns out the real main character was that guy.
Yep.
And it's disgusting. We thought we were living in a hero manga. We're living in some fucking weird hentai shit instead. And we're all dicks out for Harambe caused the whole thing.
I still don't understand why it was dicks out for Harambe. Who started that?
I don't know, dude. I don't know why it's dicks out for Harambe. It just is.
Who's the first one to be like, yeah, pull your dick out for Harambe? Pull my what out for what? Why? Just cause. All right. If you don't pull your dick out for Harambe, you're a bad person. All right, I guess I'll do it.
It's like the fucking the UFC like fucking meme that always goes around. Twist his dick.
Grab his dick and twist it.
Yeah, give him the old dick twist.
Where's my button?
Do you have that as a button?
Oh yeah. Where is it? I have it here
Uh oh.
Oh, not that one.
You weirdo. Nope.
There it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think it's recording. Oh, well.
You can add it in later. Give it the old dick twist. Grab his dick and twist it.
Grab his dick and twist it.
But yeah, so all this stuff has got me very void-pilled. And what I want to start going down the rabbit hole more of, and I feel like it's not a coincidence that when I got this way...
There, good. Now it's recording.
This is an MMA fight, dude. Twist that dick. Twist his dick.
Twist his dick.
Twist his dick.
But yeah, what I started getting this way, then my TikTok feed started having stuff about like philosophy and philosophy quotes. So now I kind of want to go down the rabbit hole of philosophy a little bit, and we might talk about that more in the future. Because there's some great like quotes that I'd love to go through, and like maybe I'll just like run them by and we talk about that shit like one day, because it's very heady and I love it. But it also shows that the human condition is to question existence, and that intelligent people for a very long time have just been plagued by the nonsense that the human existence is.
Mm-hmm. Why? I think, therefore, I am.
I wish I didn't think anymore.
To be or not to be? That is the question.
I think, therefore, I drink. Well, on that note, I got to go test out my new graphics cards. So, if you made it this far, subscribe, follow, hit that notification bell, share this show with everyone you know, especially the people that are void-pilled in your life.
Yeah, that legit though. If you have made it this far, like, and you're not subscribed, what the fuck are you doing? Hit that fucking button.
Yeah, for real. It takes like 2 seconds. Just do it anyway. I know
you've listened to us ramble for an hour and you haven't subscribed. What's wrong with you?
I know existence is bleak, but you know, enjoy the ride with us. So again, hit that notification bell, subscribe, follow, share the show with everyone you know. You can find us on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, and occasionally the TikTok.
So long, folks.
See ya.